For 25 years, Nvidia built chips that go inside computers. With RTX Spark, it is building the computer itself. Unveiled at Computex 2026 in Taipei on June 2, RTX Spark is a Grace Blackwell system-on-chip, 70 billion transistors, TSMC 3nm process, a 20-core ARM CPU co-designed with MediaTek, 6,144 Blackwell CUDA cores, up to 128 GB of unified LPDDR5X at 300 GB per second. That memory number is the first thing to hold. A top-of-the-line MacBook Pro with 128 GB cost $5,099. Nvidia has not announced RTX Spark pricing, but it is targeting the premium market in fall 2026. The architecture is directly comparable to Apple Silicon. CPU and GPU share a single memory pool. No VRAM ceiling, no separate system RAM. The entire 128 GB is GPU addressable. That matters because of what it unlocks. A discrete RTX 570 laptop GPU carries 12 GB of VRAM. That ceiling prevents running large local AI models. RTX Spark removes that ceiling entirely, on a thin and light laptop chassis 14 mm thick. Jensen Huang described it this way at GTC Taipei. This is the first completely re-engineered, reinvented line of PCs that has happened in 40 years. That is a significant claim. The last architectural rupture of that magnitude was 1984, but the spec sheet supports the ambition. 1 petaflop of FP4 compute pound laptop frame, 120 billion parameter local LLMs, 1 million token context window, RTX 570 class GPU performance without a discrete card, all of it on one die sharing one memory bus. The Apple comparison is not rhetorical. It is the actual engineering template. Apple's M-series unified memory architecture moved laptops from being compute-limited to being workload-capable. Nvidia has applied the same design philosophy to Windows, with one addition Apple cannot match: the full CUDA software stack. That stack, 2 decades of developer investment, travels with RTX Spark into every laptop OEM ships. Not a stripped version, not a mobile subset. The same CUDA developers use in data centers.
Intel shares fell more than 4% on June 2. AMD fell more than 3%. Qualcomm led the declines, dropping over 6%. Nvidia rose 4%. Microsoft climbed 3%. ARM Holdings surged more than 11% in pre-market. MediaTek rose 5% in Taiwan. Those moves happened before RTX Spark ships a single unit. The fall 2026 launch window is months away. The market did not wait for volume data. That is the first analytical signal worth examining. The sell-off is not pricing RTX Spark's current market share. It is pricing the shift in trajectory for the next upgrade cycle. Intel's position in PC silicon has been structural: x86 dominance, developer ecosystem, OEM relationships. These are 40-year moats. RTX Spark does not attack all of them simultaneously, but it attacks the one that matters most: the premium laptop segment, where margins are highest. HP reported in its most recent quarter that AI PCs were 44% of second quarter PC shipments, up from 35% the prior quarter. The volume migration toward AI-capable hardware is already underway. Nvidia is landing in that migration with committed OEM partners, not hypothetical design wins, committed products. Microsoft Surface Laptop Ultra, Dell XPS 16, Asus ProArt P14 and P16, HP OmniBook X14 and OmniBook Ultra 16, Lenovo Yoga Pro 9N, MSI Prestige N16 Flip AI. Nvidia says roughly 30 laptop models and 10 desktop models, all from Tier 1 OEMs. This is not a reference design. This is coordinated platform adoption by every major PC maker at once. The buried assumption Intel's bulls are leaning on: OEM commitments for a new platform are a launch cycle bet, not a platform cycle capitulation. The assumption Nvidia's bulls are leaning on: once CUDA lands in a laptop, the developer ecosystem does not leave. Both assumptions cannot simultaneously be correct. For Intel, the structural read has to shift. The PC segment has represented a reliable revenue floor. That floor is now contested at the premium tier. And because the premium tier drives disproportionate margin, the earnings impact does not scale linearly with unit share. For AMD, the position is similarly exposed. AMD Strix Halo achieved unified memory in PC silicon first, but it did not bring the CUDA stack. It did not bring 6,144 RTX core cores. It did not bring Jensen Huang on a Computex stage. And it did not land 30 OEM commitments in a single keynote.
ARM Holdings and MediaTek were the quiet winners. Every RTX Spark laptop that ships pays royalties to ARM. MediaTek CPU design is inside every unit. The market is not just repricing Nvidia upward, it is repricing the entire PC silicon stack simultaneously.
The chip announcement is the headline. The platform architecture is the investment thesis. Nvidia is not selling RTX Spark as a faster laptop. It is selling it as the hardware substrate for a new category of computing, the agent PC. The distinction matters structurally. A faster CPU is incremental. An agentic hardware platform reframes the upgrade cycle. Microsoft has been trying to lead the AI PC narrative for 2 years. Copilot arrived in Windows in late 2023. The reception was underwhelming. Users got a chatbot in a sidebar. The compute underneath was not sufficient for meaningful local inference. RTX Spark changes the compute foundation. The Surface Laptop Ultra includes kernel-level AI agent execution, smarter memory management for the 128GB unified pool, refinements to the Prism x86 emulation layer, native anti-cheat and gaming support on ARM. Nvidia adds OpenShell, its agent runtime environment. OpenShell runs agents in isolated sandboxes. It enforces policy controls over data access and agent actions. Identity, containment, and end-to-end security are built into the hardware-software joint stack. The target workload is explicit. Run a 120B parameter LLM locally with 1 million token context on a device that weighs 3 pounds. 12 months ago, that workload required a server rack. 6 months ago, it required a DGX Spark workstation at $4,699. By fall 2026, it will ship in a mainstream premium laptop. The second-order implication for Nvidia's own business model is the key variable to hold. Data center Nvidia is the known story. GPU revenue grew 92%